Hey guys, it's your boy Mark with the new show, The Markup. Episode 2 is on the way. In this one, we're going to have another two-part series talking about how to save your down payment. A lot of people in our DMs, a lot of people on consultations, a lot of people when we have our home buy university, one of the questions is, hey, I am 25 years old, I am 45 years old, I am 65 years old. Doesn't matter. People need to know, like, how do I save and what do I need for a down payment? Let's just start with that. VA, no money down. USDA, more of a rural agricultural type of loan, no money down. FHA, 3.5% down. Conventional, as low as 3 or 5% down. Those are typically the ones. You could get into jumbo, which is more the higher end properties. Sometimes those require as much as 10%. And then if you want to avoid private mortgage insurance, you have to put 20% down. But for people I'm talking to today, mostly is people that are trying to just get into their first home, or like how to do better at their second home, how to save accordingly. I bought my very first home. I've told this story before, but you're just tuning into this episode. So if you want to learn a little bit more about me, I'm about to turn 46 years old. Hard to believe, right? And I bought my very, very first house at only 24 years old. So I've been in this real estate game for a long time, not only as a real estate agent, a real estate broker, the owner of my own company. This comes with years of experience. It all started by me becoming a homeowner. And I have to say this message to everybody because we'll get into, because on episode 2, I'm also going to talk a little bit about down payment assistance and other ways to save money, or that there's money out there for you. But I want this message to come through loud and clear. You're talking to somebody that came from a middle class family, a divorced household. Thank God both of my parents, step parents, everybody was great and active in my life. But I didn't come from a lot of money. I graduated like most people with college debt. 6 months after I moved down here, the transmission went in my car, and it was going to be the first responsibility of getting my own brand new car with my own credit, my own savings, everything like that. And I bought my very first home at 24 years old, going on a contract at 23 years old. Again, making in, it's almost embarrassing to say now, right? But in the 20s, like the salaries that people get nowadays were not, even coming out of college back then, what they are now. So there's so much more opportunities for you guys out there through social media, through contracting, through taking second jobs, through Uber, through Lyft, through creating your own business, through reaching everybody through the World Wide Web, what we call the internet, right? Showing my age. But there's so many ways to make money. The question is, do you know how to save money? So let's jump into it because this is going to be super, super important. So today I looked up, what a regular, if you were just opening up a regular savings account, right? With Wells Fargo, it's probably the same for Bank of America, all the other regional or big banks. The interest rate is 0.0039. That's probably for you guys. Most of us have a savings and a checking account. Checking is where we pay the bills. We set up our auto bill, where our car notes, our mortgages, our rent payments, all that is paid through. The savings is usually the account where you're doing your direct deposit if you work for a corporation or any type of job, or if you're 1099, that's where your money goes in. Savings, operating, whatever you want to call it, right? Super, super low rate. It's going to be very hard to have your money make money for you. And that is the key to real estate. That's the key to wealth. That's the key to your financial future, is by not working paycheck to paycheck to pay the cable bill, to pay the trip, to pay the clothes. You want your accounts, your real estate, to pay for those things without having to deplete it. So this is a real life example of things that I've learned over the past few years. Kurt has learned, and I want you to start utilizing these tools for you. So we're going to look first into what's HY savings accounts slash CDs. What does HY stand for? High yield. And those are available. We opened ours in the bank Marcus. You could probably look at Wells Fargo, Bank of America, your credit union. I know American Express, a lot of the credit card companies, they're not just credit card companies. They're financial institutions. Discover, Citi. I get offers all the time. A lot of people just throw this into the junk mail. They think it's junk mail. But one thing I want to talk about, and we're going to give you an example in this of how this money is going to be making money for you. So we're in an inflationary period when I'm taping this in May of 2023. You guys see the higher mortgage rates, but I also want you to understand that whenever there's a negative, like higher interest rates for mortgages and car notes and stuff like that, on the opposite end, there's a lot more opportunities to make money by having your money sit in a CD or a high yield account. Also, just one thing before I go forward with that is that I want you to just Google what were interest rates in the 1980s, 1990s, early 2000s, and you'll find with rates our clients are securing at 5.5, 6, 6.5. Historically, there have been time periods, guys, when interest rates to buy a house were 12, 14, 16%. When we were in the middle of a pandemic, right, when that all happened, that was an environment where the Fed and Treasury yields and stuff, because people were locked in, people were losing their jobs, right? It was a scary time. That's when those things don't come along, very often. That's when rates were like 0.025 or 3% or 3.5%. But that doesn't stop people from buying homes at 5%, 6%, 7%. People were buying them at 12, 18% back in the 80s and stuff like that. And a lot of times when I bought my first home, it was closer to around that 5.5%. So I want you guys to just take that into consideration. But one thing that happens in this inflationary period is you also get higher rates with high yield savings accounts and CDs. And I'm just going to give you an example to show you the power of like compounded interest, how you can utilize these funds to help. My whole mission is to show you ways to help without having to break your back. There's going to be some sacrifices, and maybe this will be a goal for you to save 10, 20, 30, 50, $100,000 and not have it all go towards your down payment. But how this money that is going to be made is going to help you with your down payment. So on my Marcus account, I looked, today and saying, what are they offering this month? Because they can change. They can change monthly and everything like that. But right now they're offering a 3.83% interest rate. So comparing that to the 0.0039%, do you believe just by having your money sit in your account, it's not even accruing? It's accruing less than 0.5%. Take advantage of these high yield accounts. So all you would do, you could put any number you want. If you saved up 10,000, 25,000, 100,000, you could use this same formula. So as this example for this particular episode, I'm just showing you 50,000. You'll multiply it by 0.0383. That's the interest rate that you're getting. That equates, guys, by just having your money sit there, $1,915 a year. That equates to $159 a month. Whereas if your money was just sitting in this regular savings account, you're lucky if you're making $195 a year, $16.25. That barely gets you nowadays a bacon, egg, and cheese and a coffee, right? At most of these Starbucks or any of your local bagel shops, right? Now look at the power too, is if you open up a CD. In this high inflationary environment, you're getting interest rates all the way up to 4.75% or even higher. So what a CD is like you're basically putting the money in this certificate of deposit for 12 months. You're not going to touch that money for 12 months. By putting that $50,000, you're multiplying up by 0.0475. That equates to $2,375. Think about it. If you're saving for your down payment and you have saved up, this $50,000, but you don't want to use all that money towards your down payment, or you'd like to have a little extra money, that is going to come in handy. That $2,375. Say if you've only saved up, $10,000, but your down payment's going to be $12,000 or $13,000. That $2,375, by just having it sit there, don't touch it. Just have it out of your mind. It's going to accrue $2,375 worth of interest. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about before we get into this is a very low risk investment, because FDIC insures deposits up to $250,000. You guys have heard in the news about some regional banks going under and stuff like that. As long as you don't go over $250,000, that money is never going to be lost. It's always going to be insured. So in this scenario where you're investing $50,000, it's a very, very low risk environment to invest your money. Now, this one, I would say, is more of a medium, not even a high, but a medium risk. You start looking at what's called monthly dividend accounts. Monthly dividend accounts, there's many. There's tens, maybe even thousands out there. One that I have looked into over the last few years, and this is just a tip, and this is just give you an example when you're looking on E-Trade or Charles Schwab or Fidelity or any of those brokerage houses, I want you to just look up a stock symbol called CLM. And it's a cornerstone fund, and they pay a monthly dividend. So how you would calculate that is if you invested the same $50,000, as of the last price I looked, it's $7.89 per share. So you would take $50,000 divided by $7.89. That gives you 6,337 shares. This particular fund, they pay out a little over 12 cents per share. So you would calculate you own 6,337 shares. You multiply it by 0.1228. Think of it as cents, right? That equates to what, guys? Huge. $7,718 a month you're getting deposited back into your account. You're getting $9,338.20 per year. By just having your money sit there and getting that monthly dividend, that 12 cents, it really breaks out to 12.28 cents. So in this calculation, 0.1228. By just having your $50,000 sit in that account, you're clearing $9,338.20. For a lot of people, at a $250, $300, $325, $350 price point, this might cover all your down payment by just having that money sit in that monthly dividend account. Now, you have to decide yourself, what is the risk versus reward? Because it's not insured and stocks fluctuate. So you have to be comfortable saying, like, my $50,000 investment, if that stock price goes down to $7 or $6, that value is going to go down, but my monthly dividend continues. If that stock price goes up to $10 or $11, it's going to be $50,000 plus any profit that you make out of it, plus that monthly dividend. So those are just two examples, guys, of just having your money that you saved. And it might be, to get this type of money, it might be working a second or third job. It might be sacrificing those vacations for 2, 3, 4 years. But look at the power of investment when you utilize your money. Okay, guys, I got a couple more examples of how to save for your down payment. So stay tuned for episode 2. I hope this was very helpful for you guys. All right, I'll talk to you soon.